All right. Good morning, everyone. I hope you can hear me. Let me know if you can't. Happy Monday. And also happy Halloween week. Hi, Emma. Good morning. Yay. Yes, yes, yes. I hope you're all awake. Because after this flow, you're probably going to be a lot more awake. Oh, dear. I don't know what my hair does, guys. It just does its own thing, you know? Yeah, I hear you, Emma. So it's super accessible. Like, of course, not for everyone, because in general, physical yoga right now is very ableist. But rocket yoga is very Ashtanga influenced, and the intention is to get upside down. The intensity will be kind of short-lived because the final part of class is all done on the ground and is grounded stretches with opportunities to do more and more. So I'll be offering on a lot of layers for you to take, and you don't have to do them. Hi, Stephanie. And the best part about doing yoga at home is it just doesn't fucking matter, and it's not a big deal. And if you do half of this thing and then call it a day, then that's your prerogative and it's all good. Oh, yeah? Oh, she's behind the curtain. Surprise! When I taught this weekend, she did this, and the whole time she was behind this curtain, like screaming her head off. Baby girl! Okay, I'll hide you. You stay back there. She's like, Mom, don't expose me this early. Oh man. Oh, I should put the playlist in here. So Kamar and I collaborated on a playlist that we were going to reserve for Friday, but I was like, why not use it all week to get us in the mood for Halloween, which I will be celebrating at home because of reasons like a global pandemic. Sometimes I think that saying global pandemic is a little oxymoronic, but so anyways, this playlist hopefully will get you in the mood for things. Hey, Shayla, good morning. I'm here to accept you all and love you all and do movement. Oh, Shayla, do you want to see a surprise pie? Yeah, she's over my shit. So, yeah, this is also my final for my yoga training. So once we're done with this, I'm going to copy pasta, send it in, and be like, give me my shit. And I see that I've got like 5 people in here, so I'm going to give it a couple more minutes. I hope the description didn't scare people off. Hi, Pi. I just want to pick you up. You're so pick-upable. Last night, I put on this really delicious, expensive chapstick, and Pi thought it was something to like lick off. So she was licking my lips last night. Hi, you little pervert. Hi, should we do our yoga class now? What do you think? I think everybody's ready for it. I know she's an older cat, but she still has that new kitten smell, you know? Okay. Let me get the playlist all queued up. And we're going to get started in a tabletop. Crystal, oh my God, hi. So excited. So if you're just logging on again, I've got the playlist sitting there in the chat. And we're going to start in tabletop position. Oh, shit. Where'd it go? Okay, there we go. Goodbye Horses is where we're starting. Make sure I got to take out all the thing, including the kitty baby. Okay. I also have a block or 2 blocks and a strap just in case you need things to help you. Yeah, those are always nice to have. All right, and in your tabletop position, we're gonna get your wrists and forearms super, super, super warmed up. So let's spread out the hands nice and wide and we'll shift forwards and backwards. And while I move, Pi is gonna keep her eyes on you to make sure you have good form. That's just the situation. Good. Now I want you to hold your lean forward and really feel the planche. I want you to try to press through the arms and wrap the undersides of your forearms forward. Good. Rock the shoulders back over your wrists. External rotation, so fingertips facing out to the left and right hand side, and we'll rock side to side. If you have more wrist mobility and you have a little more flexion, then you can walk the undersides of your wrists a little bit closer together so that they're like almost like this close, right? And then you can do the rock side to side. So of course, just do what feels right, what feels good. All right, let's go full external rotation. Fingertips facing back towards your knees. And we'll lean backwards and forwards. Now, if you would prefer to just lean back and feel it, you can do that too. And I'm not opposed to you peeling the heels of your hands off of the ground either. Wow. Good morning. All right, let's take our hands all the way back towards the front of our mat. And we're going to negate what we just did by placing the tops of our hands onto our mat. You can do this one hand at a time if this is too extreme. Your palms should be pointing up towards you, yeah? Now, if you're just doing one hand at a time, I want you to switch right now. So do the other hand. Cool. Sit back onto your heels into your geisha sit, and I want you to shake out your hands, shake out your wrists, get some blood flow back into those babies. You can take circles, circles, and then we're going to come right back into our tabletop position and do 2 more little warm-ups for our arms and our wrists. Now I want you to keep the arms super straight, but try to turn the eyes of the elbows behind you and then forwards. So you're practicing your external rotation and internal rotation here on your mat. Nothing else in the body is moving. So this upper arm bone, this humerus bone, is moving in the shoulder socket. Ooh, ooh. It's like you're making a little juicy mojito here, but with your arms, yeah? Now let's maintain the eyes of the elbows forward. Keep your fingers onto the ground. Lift the heels of your hands up and then return them back down to the ground. Good. Let's do a whole shitload of these. So we'll get your forearms nice and pumped up. Lift, lift, lift. I used to want to always just get to the awesome shit quick, but this is how we move safe. That's what I want us to do here. All right, let's do 10 more seconds. I know. Shit's on fire. Last 5. Ooh, a little spider. Hi. 3, 2, and 1. Heels of the hands back down. Center your left hand. Reach your right arm up to the sky. Take a breath in. Exhale, thread your needle. Right arm goes underneath. Drop the shoulder and your right ear all the way down to the mat. Try to create space between the shoulder and the ear so that the right sternocleidomastoid has some space. Left hand can reach forward. Hips want to be nice and even. If you want to start binding, we are going to be working some binds here today. Internal rotation with your left arm. Perhaps it rests onto the low back or grabs your right inner thigh. Nice cycles of breath in and cycles of breath out. Amazing. Let's return your left hand back to the ground. Press yourself up just to tabletop position. And then we'll do the other side. Right hand to the center, left arm reaches up. Thread your needle, left arm goes underneath the body. Drop the shoulder, drop the ear down to the ground. Right arm can reach forward. Right arm can find this internal rotation and locate the low back or the inner thigh. I want you to notice if your hips have gone off center. Try to find some control into the lumbar and thoracic area by pulling those hips back to neutral. Breaths in. Nice, breaths out. Let's return everything back. Hand plants. Bring yourself up to tabletop position. And let's go into our first downward facing dog. So tuck your toes, lift your hips all the way up and back. Nice. We're going to spend 5 breaths here. And I want those to be nice, full inhales and exhales. Now, as you work those 5 breaths, I want you to remember that exercise we did earlier with the spinning of the arms. Think about spinning the eyes of your elbows forwards. Create space along the neck here. Heels don't have to touch the ground. Think sit bones up to sky. Even if that means you need to micro bend your knees a little bit. Nice. Breaths in. Breaths out. Good. One more time just like that. Inhale, breath. Exhale, breath. Nice. Now listen up. Inhale, lift up your heels nice and high. Exhale, bend your knees and compress backwards. Good. Inhale, come to the top of your mat. Lengthen out your spine, hip width distance, feet halfway lift. And with your exhale, forward fold. Now micro bend the knees, roll yourself all the way up to standing. Ooh. Slide the shoulder blades down your back and take your hands towards heart center. Now we're going to take 3 sets of ohms here. Yes, at the beginning of our practice. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Inhale to prepare for Om. Om. Inhale. Om. Nice. Last one. Inhale. Nice work, everyone. Heel toe your feet together, big toes touch. Inhale, big sweep, arms up to the sky. Gaze at your thumbs. Exhale, forward fold, hinge from your hips. Inhale, find a halfway lift, lengthen your spine. With your exhale, fold to plant your hands, step back, and move into your mid-plank position. Bend the elbows to 90, knees can touch the ground. Upward facing dog. Open the chest to the front, kneecaps float. Exhale, downward facing dog, lift your hips, 5 breaths. That's 2. This is your 4th. Inhale, heels nice and high. Exhale, bend your knees deep. Inhale to the top of your mat, meet me in half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to standing. Exhale, arms by side body, Samastitihi. Good. Inhale, arms sweep up, look up at your thumbs. Exhale, forward fold, hinge from your hips, make your way down. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, mid-plank, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, downward facing dog, another 5 breaths. Yes, work on those shoulders, please. That was 2. Continue to grip into the fingertips. That is 4. Inhale, heels nice and high. Exhale, bend your knees deep. Inhale, top of your mat, half lift. Good, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stand tall, arms up. Exhale, arms by side body, Samastitihi. Inhale, arms to sky, look up at your palms. Exhale, forward fold. Oof. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, half lift. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, high to mid. How light can your feet be? I'm telling myself that. Exhale, downward facing dog, 5 breaths. That is 2. This is your 4th. Inhale, heels high. Exhale, bend your knees deep, compress, look at the top. Inhale, halfway lift at the top. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, arms by side body. Nice. Inhale, arms high, look up. Exhale, forward fold, take it down. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Urdhva Mukha. Adho Mukha, downward facing dog, 5 breaths. Now this is the last time where we have the option to hold for 5 breaths. Moving forwards, you have the option to take hops in your downward facing dog. So I'll introduce that as we work into our Surya Namaskar B. Breaths in. Breaths out, that's 4. Inhale, heels high. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, top of your mat, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand tall. Exhale, arms by side body. Nice. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Bend into your knees, sit back, and reach your arms towards the upper hand corner. If you want to turn this into an Ashtanga style chair, hands come together and you look up, creating a back bend. So you should feel all the muscles right along the spinal erectors here, finding engagement. So those options are available to you. You're here for 3. Last 2. Nice. Forward fold on 1. Lengthen out the legs and melt down to the mat. 2 options here after your halfway lift. Exhale, Malasana or Bakasana. So Bakasana being that first arm balance we take, knees come onto the triceps, lifting, or feet come out nice and wide. This is where I like to start. So a nice open position for the hips. My elbows are pushing into my inner thighs, my hands at heart center to assist me in this abduction of the hips. Good, if you're in that crow, stay with me, last 3. Last two. Nice one. Hands can plant. You can jump back, moving through chaturanga. And know that you can always skip those chaturangas and just meet us in downward facing dog. With your next inhale, lift your right leg up to the sky. And with your exhale, open up your hip, bend into your knee. Nice. Inhale, square the hip, lengthen your leg. Exhale, need to know, step your right foot between your hands. You can place the hand there if you need. Pivot left heel down. Virabhadrasana 1 is where we are going. Arms are going to come all the way up. Now on this first one, we're going to take our time and refine, and then move breath to movement on those final two. Left armpit wants to square forward. Left hip is going to have that slight opening, but I do want you to create some posterior tilt here and draw your low ribs in. Take a breath here. Exhale, take your hands down to the ground, mid-plank with option of Ekapada. Upward facing. Good. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left side, left leg lifts up. Exhale, open up your hip, bend into your knee. Square the hip, lengthen the leg, breath in. Exhale, knee towards your nose, big step through low lunge. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 1. Pause here and take some breaths as you refine. Heel and outer edge of the right foot want to press into the mat. Commit to the bend in your front knee. Tailbone elongates down. You should feel like you just lifted out of your pelvis a few inches. Take an inhale. Exhale, hands down to the ground. Chaturanga Dandasana. Good. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now place both of your forearms down onto the ground, dolphin pose. 5 breaths here. If you're feeling warmed up in the shoulders and want to already go for Pincha Mayurasana, you have the time to do this. I'll go for it on my second round. I want to make sure my shoulders get nice and warm because I have some old injuries. Try to push the chest back. Backs of the legs nice and elongated. This is your 4th breath. Lift your elbows up off of the ground. Inhale, heels high. Exhale, bend your knees deep. Inhale, hop, step, float, top of your mat into half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to standing. Exhale, arms by side, body, Samastitihi. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Bend into your knees. Any variations or options here, Vinyasa style or Ashtanga style chair. You're here for 3. You're here for 2. Nice, and 1, forward fold. Halfway lift, lengthen your spine. With your exhale, Bakasana or Malasana. Hands to ground, knees on triceps. Hold 5, 4, 3, 2, jump backs on 1, step backs, however you want to get there to move through your chaturanga. Up dogs. Nice. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right leg lifts up. Pace is going to be a little different. Exhale, open up your hip. Inhale, square the hip, lengthen the leg. Pull it through, step through, low lunge. Inhale, warrior 1. Exhale, hands down to the ground, mid-plank. Upward facing. Nice. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg. Open up your hip. Inhale, square hip, long leg. Exhale, need to know, step through. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, take it down to the ground, mid-plank. I know, it feels quick. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog, dolphin pose. Now, if you're feeling a little upside downy, you can practice by just lifting up one leg at a time. You also have the option of taking your pincha. Hold 5. Good. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Downward facing dog. Whoo! 5 breaths here. Look, arms are on fire. As my teacher likes to say, rocket yoga just gets you there faster. That was 2. That was 4. Inhale, heels high. Exhale, bend your knees deep, look forward. Inhale, top of your mat, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair position. We'll go straight into it because why not? I want us to open up into a twist here to prepare for some revolved shapes later. Right arm is going to go back, left arm is going to go forwards. Now try to let the hands and everything find extension without opening up your hips. So I want you to feel everything squeezed together at the inner thigh. Nice. Inhale back to center. Exhale, open up, other side. Yes, my shoulders are very tired too. Monday, why you do this to me? Yeah, I'm starting to feel some sweat drip down my titties right now too. That's good. Nice, let's take it back into chair. Heels lift up nice and high. Stay. You're there for 3. You're there for 2. Nice, forward fold on 1, let that go. Halfway lift, lengthen. With your exhale, Malasana or Bakasana. Hands to the ground. Knees come onto triceps. Or feet nice and wide. Happy times in Malasanas. You're there for 5. Nice, last 3, 2, and 1. Make your way back to down dog via chaturangas, jump backs, or nothing of the sort. Downward facing dog. Right leg lifts. Open up your hip. Nice. Pull it through, step to low lunge. Inhale, warrior 1. Exhale, hands to the ground, chaturanga. Up dogs. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg lifts. Open up the hip. Nice, pull it through, low lunge. Inhale, warrior 1. Exhale, hands down to the ground, chaturanga mid plank. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Again, hold in your down dog or drop down onto your forearms, pincha. What do you think, Pi? Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Downward facing dog. Oh, kill me now. Inhales. And exhales. Whew. Right leg is going to lift up again. Let's open up our hip. Option to drop this foot behind you and lift your chest up to the sky. Wild thing. Nice. Return right hand to ground if it isn't there. Right leg comes in towards your chest. Step through to low lunge. Inhale, warrior 1. And with your exhale, warrior 2. I'm going to catch my motherfucking breath right here. Woo! Y'all, teaching these things can be very, very tricky, you know? Now flip your right palm to the sky. Reverse warrior, open up side body. Nice. With your exhale, Trikonasana triangle pose. Back to center, lengthen your right leg, shift towards the front, and go right arm down, left arm high. Now you can always modify these shapes, taking a block underneath your right hand. There's millions of ways to help yourself out here. I prefer to take that block behind my right leg if I am using that. Excellent. Listen up. Bend into your right knee. Look to the top of your mat. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Flex your left foot. Kick the bottom of your foot to the back of your space. Left arm is going to reach up to the sky. Hand can come to heart center. Now we're going to revolve this shape in 5 seconds. And before we do that, we're going to bend our right knee in 3, in 2, and 1. Bend into your right knee, square the hip, take the left hand down, and right arm up nice and high. Extension through the arms and extension through the back leg. I know it's brutal, huh? Revolve triangle shape, coming to you in 5 seconds. Breaths in, breaths out. Nice. Bend your right knee, step the left foot behind you, lengthen it back out, press through the left hand, right arm is up to sky. If you need to check your sacrum, palm can come onto that back. Is the outer edge of your back foot pressing into the earth? Check on that for me. Now soften into the right knee, step the left foot back even deeper, right hand comes down to the ground. We're moving into extended side angle. Left arm is going to reach all the way up and over above the head, up to the sky, or modified with the elbow on top of the knee. Nice. If you got it in your practice, let's play with some binds. Left arm wraps around you, right arm wraps underneath. Good, you got birds of paradise. Let's step left foot to top of mat. Come up high onto your right heel, and let's lift up. Pressing through the left leg nice and tall. The right leg can stay bent, but if you've got that full birds of paradise extension, lengthen through the right leg. Splay out through the toes. Nice. Can you maintain this bind? Take the right foot all the way back down to the ground. Listen up. Step your left foot to the back of your space. Lower your left knee down. Undo the bind, come into prayer position, and twist. Left elbow to the outside of the right thigh. Or you can even slide down into the armpit here. To deepen, tuck the toe, lift the knee. You can open. You can once more take a bind. I like to look towards the back of my space when I do this. Excellent work, everyone. Release your hands down to the ground. Chaturanga Dandasana, high to mid plank. Upward facing. Nice. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg lifts. Open up your hip. If you did this on the other side, drop the foot behind you. Lift heart space up to sky. Good. Return everything back. If it is lifted, left leg up to sky. Knee to nose, pull it through. Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, warrior 2, open up. Take a second to catch your breath. For me. Flip your left palm, reverse warrior. Nice. With your exhale, Trikonasana, triangle pose. Lengthen your left leg, tick-tock through center, and move into your variation of this shape. And if you use blocks, they're available for you, and they can be really handy as we move into our next shape, half moon Ardha Chandrasana. Look at your left big toe, bend into the left knee. I like to use that to propel myself forward. Right leg extends behind you. The outer edge of my right foot is pointing up to the sky. To really challenge yourself, left-handed heart center. We're going to move revolved in 5, but we're going to bend our standing leg first in 3, 2, bend into the standing leg, then square the hip, right hand down, left arm reaches up. Now your right foot should now be pointing down towards your mat, okay? Okay, great. Oh dear. I must admit this is not my favorite shape. Now let's move into our revolved Trikonasana, Parivrtta Trikonasana. Right foot steps towards the back. If you need to check your sacrum, the left hand can locate and then find your re-extension. If balance always feels weird, then just take your gaze down to the ground. That's what helps me. Now listen up. Let's bend into our left knee. Deepen your stance a lot. Left hand comes down, heel comes down, side angle. Right arm reaches up to sky. You can also come up and place the elbow on top of the thigh. I want your pelvis to wrap underneath you. If you were binding, left arm goes underneath, right arm goes over on top. If you did birds of paradise with me this morning, right foot steps forward, left heel pops up. Up you come, up you come, up you come. Yeah, this can be your birds, you know what I mean? Or if you want to take flight, left leg extends. I'm always trying to keep my right leg extended as I do this. Nice. Let's take it all the way down and try to keep your bind. Right knee lowers. Undo. Hands to heart. Take your twist. Yeah. You can be happy as a clam right here, or you can slide into the armpit. You can pick up the back leg. You can even take another full bind here. Breathe into the belly. Last 3. Good. 2 and 1. Let's release and work our way out of this. Upward facing. Good. With your exhale, downward facing dog. Now we're going to go run through this one more time with 2 little additions. Right leg lifts up. Open up your hip. Again, option to drop the foot. Hand comes back down to the ground. Right leg lifts. Need to know, step through low lunge. Virabhadrasana 1. Inhale. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, Trikonasana, triangle pose. Bend into your right knee. Inhale. Exhale, take off, half moon. Perhaps you want to turn this into Shavasana, capturing the foot, kicking up towards the sky. Nice. Bend into your right knee. We're going to revolve it, and you can release the grip, switch, and reach back with the other hand. Nice. We got revolve Trikonasana in 3, 2, and 1. Hand down, release. Ooh, step back onto that foot. Soften into standing leg. Deepen your stance. Finding your side angle. Opportunities again to bind. Nice. Step your left foot to the front. Up you come, birds of paradise. Nice, return. Oh, God. Oof. Knee down. Release, prayer position. Any and all variations here, wrapping and extending the back leg. Now, if you want to, you can take a fully bound half moon here, or revolved half moon, technically. So good. Now let's return everything back to the ground, including your knee. Release any binds. Heel toe your right foot towards the outer edge of your left mat. The left side of your mat. Words, whatever. Hands are going to come down to the ground here. You have an opportunity to take side crow. You have an opportunity to take your revolved hurdlers. Nice. If you want to take a jump back from here, take a bend. Right leg extends back. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. My God. Left side, lift up your leg. Open up your hip. Drop it back behind you, lift your chest. Nice, return everything back. Knee comes into chest. Step through low lunge. Warrior 1. Warrior 2. I am dying. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, Trikonasana, triangle pose. Look towards the top of your mat. Bend into your front knee, take off. Ooh, Ardha Chandrasana. If you went for Chapasana, locating the inside of your right foot, kicking up to sky. Nice. Now bend into your left leg. Release, square. If you did a switch grip, left hand reaches back for the outer edge of that foot. And maybe you took another balance. 3. Nice. 2. Revolve, Trikonasana, Parivrita. Woo. Heel finds the ground. Amazing. I'm so glad this angry song is playing right now because I feel so angry. Left knee bends, adjust back, side angle. Good. Binds if you took it. Right foot steps forward. Up you come. Birds of paradise. More like birds of hell right now. We're in a tiny little hell. So good. Return back down to the ground. Can you step back with control? Right knee lowers. Hands to heart, prayer twist. With, again, all the variations that you took on the other side. Kai, can I do this side? This is my bad side. If you went for the bound half moon, holy shit. Right leg is going to lift. Foot comes back down. Lower the knee down, undo the bind. Cool. Heel toe the left foot towards the outer edge of the mat over to the right. Hands come down and either take your side curl so you can step in, or you can keep the legs extended. Ekapada Kudanyasana. For the jump back, left leg comes out first. Upward facing. Nice. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a child's pose, knees wide, sit your hips back towards your heels. Y'all are doing so good. Oh my God. Hi, they're doing so good. So we'll spend a couple breaths here. If you need water, take water. I am schwitzing. Now this is when the practice is going to start to wind down, so there won't be as much quick movement, but we're going to be working a lot of standing, balancing. Ooh, Mike just did a funny thing. So let's take 3 more breaths here. And then we'll meet in downward facing dog. From that downward facing dog, 5 breaths. Now, I did offer up those variations of taking hops from your down dog. I like to go big toes touching. It helps me squeeze my inner thighs. Bend into the knees, hop, and back. Maybe you catch a handstand at the top. And let's make our way to the top of the mat. Cool. I want your peace fingers of your left hand to grab for your left big toe. Right hand onto your hip. Kai wants my pen really bad. And you're going to come all the way up towards a standing position. Left leg is going to kick towards the front. Nice. Perhaps you lift that leg a little bit closer to you and you start to work chin to shin. Squeeze the butt. 3, 2, and 1. Stand up tall again. Left leg goes out to the left-hand side. Look out to your right. Thanks for helping, Pi. That's so sweet of you. Now take the leg back to center, the gaze back to center. Let go of the leg. See if you can keep it there for 3, 2, and 1. Lower the leg down. My God. Hinge from your hips. Make your way down. Peace fingers, grab your right big toe. I like to keep the left hand on my hip and bend my knees a little bit. Let's bring you all the way up to your Padangusthasana. And the thing that I hate the most, chin to shin. So this is different from fuse or Bikram. Very different, right? Because in fuse or Bikram, you come down to a 90 degree. Here you want to lift the leg up. All right, neutralize the leg, take it out to your right, and look over the left shoulder. So I'm going to look at you. Oh my God. Make eye contact during suffering. It's what keeps us going. All right, bring it back to center. Can you keep the leg there but let it go? For 3, for 2, and 1. Put it back down. Fuck. Whew. All right, let's fold all the way back down. And we're going to grab onto both of our toes and lift up both of your legs. Float. No, I'm just kidding. Just fold forward, hang out. Decompress the spine. And we'll take this a little bit deeper. Let's go into Padangusthasana. First, release the toes, work into halfway lift. And then take your palms underneath the soles of your feet. Bend into your knees if you need to do that. Your toes should be pressing into the wrist creases. Now, if you really want to feel something, take your heels up off of the ground. Leaning into the big toe ball mounts. Good. Let's take our hands out from underneath our feet, bringing them back onto the ground, and we'll step back into downward facing dog. Now let's walk your hands all the way to the back of your mat, and I want you to take a hot second and sit down into a Malasana pose. Now we're going to do some mobility drills up and down the mat. We're going to do a couple here that are going to be really helpful for your eventual float practice. I'll show you a variation modified with your blocks too. So we're going to do float walks. My hands are going to come forward. I'm going to lean, lift, both feet go. Yeah? And you can go backwards. Yeah? So let's do 2 rounds of those. So get on up. There you go. Hands to the ground. Press, lean. If you've got really sick handstand skills, maybe you do wrist taps and then you take it back down. Yeah? And then make your way back. I don't like going back. It's hard. Ugh. Good. When you make it to the back, come back into your Malasana. 3 breaths here. And then we're going to try to do some foot claps. Then we'll take all of our shapes down to the ground. Yay! Okay. So in these foot claps, I mean, you could do one of two things. You can just take little hops if you're not feeling very confident in your upside down game today. Or you lean forward, lift up, and try to clap the soles of your feet together. And I want you to see, how many claps can I get in today? Y'all, I'm tired. Ugh. Oh my God. Keep going, keep going. Ugh. If you're over my shit, child's pose is where you go again. Hi. Hi. Okay. If you're all done and from that child's pose, I'm going to have you come back into downward facing dog. Let's take a hopper step towards the top of our mat. Halfway lift, and with your exhale, fold. Nice, come all the way up to standing, and take the arms by your side. Now, I'm gonna have you step out with your right leg, but so that I'm facing you, I'm gonna step back with my left, okay? So step out with your right leg. We're gonna do a set of 4 wide-legged fold, Prasarita Padottanasana. For this first one, we'll take your hands onto your hips. Feet are parallel, they're turned towards the edge of your mat. Lift up your chest, take a big inhale here. Exhale, hinge from the hips, work your hands down to the ground. And just allow the spine to relax. You like fucking with my shit, don't you? Oh my God. All right, darlings, let's take our hands to our hips and we'll bring ourselves all the way back up. Now let's try to slide our thumbs a little bit closer together behind us. I want you to think about squeezing the insides of your elbows together. Nice. Lift up your chest again, maintain this hand position, and with your exhale, fold back forwards. Think about it's like some bondage shit happening behind you, like you have your arms bound behind, chest nice and open. Try to focus on reaching sit bones to sky, pressing into the heels as if you were to rip your mat in half. Good, long spine, bring yourself all the way back up. Hands come behind you. Chest expansion grip, that wasn't me slapping my own butt cheeks, but if that motivates you today, make it happen. Interlace the fingers, elongate through your arms, lift up through your chest, big breath in. Exhale, hinge from your hips, take it down. Knuckles up to sky, this should feel really great. Hi, with the shenanigans and mischief. I see you. She needs attention today, everyone. Okay, let's bring it all the way back up, and we're gonna do our very final round. Wow, yoga drugs. Okay. I'm seeing little fireworks in my brain right now. Arms open out to a T. I'm gonna walk out my legs a little bit wider, and we're gonna go all the way down into our fold. Now your hands can reach for the outer edges of the feet, or you can go into hands to big toes, or you can go into your full middle split. So I want crotch to ground, and down. So normally in our pancake or in our straddle, our toes are pointing up to the sky, and that's not what we're doing. But we will get to our straddle in a hot sec. This cat. Baby, I'm trying to focus on my final, and you're not helping. Okay. Now I'm going to move back into my straddle position. If you are still in your wide-legged fold, wow. What you can do is come into your horse, walk it a little closer, get down into your malasana, sit your ass down, then come into this wide-legged position. Now I'm going to shorten it up just a little bit, and we're going to stretch out the side of our body. Cat. Left arm reaches up and over towards the right-hand side. Nice. Let's bring you all the way back up, and we'll do the same thing to the other side. Jesus Christ on a fucking cross pie. You're losing your pen privileges today. Woohoo! All right, let's bring you all the way up. I'm going to steal your fucking pen. It's mine now. Ha. Now, we're going to do Mula Bandha checkups from here. I don't know. I'm going to put this. I'm going to put it under my mat. That's where it's going to live. So I want your hands to frame your left leg right here on the ground. You can point or flex your feet. Push, either just lift your butt, lift butt and heels. 3, 2, 1. Take it back down. Same thing, other side. Hands are going to frame this right leg, either just butt or butt and heels for 3, 2, 1. Place it back down. So good. Now we're going to make our way back into downward facing dog, but I want to give you an interesting way to get there. Take whatever leg is towards the front, so for you it'll probably be your left leg. At a right angle facing the front. Left leg straight out, or your right leg, your left leg. Hands come onto the ground. You're going to do that same lift, and you're going to move through a jump back. Yes, a jump back into chaturanga. Hands press. Upward facing, I almost died. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nice. Big breaths in. Big breaths out. One more time like that, breath in and breath out. Inhale, heels nice and high. Exhale, bend your knees deep, look to the top of your mat. Travel to the top. Halfway lift. And with your exhale, fold. Nice, let's come all the way up to standing. And instead of stepping out with your right, I'm going to have you now step out with your left, and I'm going to do it with you. Ha ha ha. Back into this wide position. Now, instead of just doing our folds, we're going to have 2 options. Headstands, I mean, you can always fold, but you can work into headstand, or you can work into your handstand, your press. Now, I like to work my press with a little bit of a closer angle. If you have a forearm wide-legged press, you can also do that here. I'll try to show you all of them. I may have none of them. So beginner's option. Yay, life is good right here. For your headstand, crown of your head finds the earth. Hands press. You can just walk your knees up onto your triceps. You can elongate up. Yeah? I feel like the forearm press is really fucking hard too, so let's see how this goes. So again, I like to come a little bit closer together because I'm trying to stack my hips higher. The wider my legs are, the lower my hips are going to be. So forearms onto the ground. I want to lock in, lean, and lift. Okay. Wow, that's books and TVs. Okay, for your handstand press, This is going to be the death of me. Again, you want those gripping fingers. This is called the camber in your hands. Eyes of the elbows forward, protraction in the shoulder blades. You want to lean planche and lift. I had it earlier. Y'all saw it. I don't need to do it. Whew. Okay, once you're done playing with any of those options, let's take it all the way back down to the ground. If you did that jump through thing, I want you to have the time to do it on the other side. So since you stepped out on your right, your left leg would have been forward, so now your right's forward. I'm going to do it on the other so I'm nice and balanced. Hands, press lift. Oh. Upward facing. Nice exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths here with the option of your Pincha Mayurasana, handstand hops, or none of the above. Cool, almost there, guys. Yeah, it's kind of a long class, FYI. It's like an hour, hour and a half. Okay. After that 5th breath, or your hops or your pincha, let's take it back to the top of our mat for our final round of forward folds. Halfway lift at the top. And with your exhale, fold. Come all the way up to standing. Hands are going to come to heart center. 2 options here. Figure 4 chair, so left ankle on top of right thigh. Or your Ardha Padmasana, half lotus, taking the outer edge of the left foot into the right hip crease. From here, hinge from your hips and work down towards the ground, either in that figure 4 or with the half lotus position. In this half lotus, a fun bind you can do if you've been binding with me all morning. Left arm wraps around and locates the toe. We'll spend another breath in here. And another breath out. So good. Take yourself all the way back up. Yes, those are my knees cracking, not a haunted house door. And we'll return the foot back down to the ground. Now figure 4 on the other side, or your Ardha Padmasana half lotus. Right ankle comes onto the thigh. Outer edge of the foot comes into the crease. Now from here, you can even bend into the knee and fold forwards just to have the experience, or go into that full fold. So yes, it is not the most comfortable position. It's pushing into all your gushy bits. If you took the bind, right arm finds that internal rotation to locate the toe. Focus down at the ground. I'm absolutely obsessed with this new Deftones album. 2 breaths. Welcome to Discomfort Land. I'm your host, Tracy Lynn. Let's bring ourselves out of here. Releasing the right foot down and shake that out. That was your last bit of standing postures. Nice. Heel toe the feet together. Sweep the arms up to the sky, breath in. Exhale, forward fold, take it all the way down. Halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, chaturanga. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now we're going to transition to the seated part of our class. If you want to make it into your seated pose by just scrambling your way down, you can do that. If you want to practice your Ashtanga jump throughs, you'll hold that handstand, cross, and sweep through. I don't know if I've got it, gang. We just don't know. Cross, tuck, 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 tuck. All right, we have it. Now I want to create some space. I want to get my butt cheeks out of the way. Hands by side body, let me breathe. Pushing again, the underside of your elbows forward, nice tall position. Now I like to flex and engage my legs so that my heels lift slightly off of the earth. Look forward. For 3, nice. 2, relax the muscles and fold forward, Paschimottanasana. So this is where we turn everything down. We're turning the volume down. Your breath, your nervous system should start to stabilize a little bit. But this practice is meant to intentionally stress you a little bit, yeah? And that's the thing, we learn to cope as that stress response happens. We breathe and realize that we're actually not in danger. The fight or flight response isn't actually needed, and we can drop into that parasympathetic response. Great. Let's bring ourselves up from here. We're going to go into Janu Shirshasana A. Right leg bends, turn it out. So it's like you're in a tree pose. Sole of the foot comes to the left inner thigh. Sit up nice and tall, and again, hinge forward, working over the left leg. For that deeper experience, arms extend beyond. Maybe you grab for your left wrist. Good. Push yourself up slightly, and let's bring our perineum up onto our right heel. So I hope Pi's not in the way. Okay, thank you. Y'all can see. So my knee's going to kind of start to point forward towards my gong, and I'm going to jump up on that thing, and again, fold forwards. So it's right between your genitals and your butthole. That's where you're sitting, all right? Some yoga people told me this is good for you. Sometimes it just gets me a little excited, you know? Oh dear, I'm fired. My own HR department, which is Hi, is going to be furious about this little outburst. All right, let's get you off your heel. Oof, foot is stretched high. Extend your right leg forward, and let's do this on the other side. Left leg comes into a bend, sole of the foot to your right inner thigh. Janu Shirshasana A, let's go forwards. And again, these are all from your Ashtanga seated primary series, which if you're new to them can be a little stressful and weird, or if you're familiar, can be really nice because you've done all the hard work on your practice and now you get to focus on some deep stretches. Again, the wrist grab is available. Nice, walk yourself up, and we're gonna go up onto the heel again. So I like to just adjust my leg, position it up in the goods, and then work your way down. One more breath in. Good. One more breath out. Nice. Let's get ourselves off of our heels. You can stay seated or cross your ankles, shift forward. Chaturanga, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now, typically in Ashtanga, you would do one of those jump throughs after each side of each shape. So in Rocket, we do about every 2 or so. Now, this next transition is a little tricky if you want to watch it first. Yeah, my left leg is going to drag as my right leg goes forward. Jump through. Yeah. So my right leg is forward, my left leg drag back. You want to see that one more time? I feel like that's the best one I've ever done too, and I caught it on camera. Bam! Now, this is a lot of passive flexion onto your knee. This is just not for you. You can lean over to one side, or you can take a nice open hip shape like this. Now we're going to work into Kranchasana. I want you to bring your right leg in, flex the foot, capture the bottom of your right foot. See what it feels like to extend your right leg. Nice. If that's not happening and it just goes to the front, cool. Maybe it just stays onto the ground because you're experiencing a whole lot right here with your left leg. Nice. Cycle of breath in. Cycle of breath out. Let's take the right sole of the foot to the ground and one more fancy schmancy transition. Bam. Right tricep comes onto the knee. Shift forward. Maybe you take a single-legged crow. Ekapada Bakasana. Jump back. Up dogs. Downward facing dog. Okay, now we want to do that slide through on the other side. Left leg through. Right leg slides to the side. I know, it's so weird, isn't it? I'm going to move the fleshy bit of my calf out to the side. Whatever modifications, variations you did of this, make it happen. Okay, Kranchasana. Leg comes in. Bottom of your foot, come here. Maybe you kick it forward, maybe you kick it up to the sky. Wow, say hello to your hamstring. And remember, just keep tapping into your breath constantly as soon as the stress response appears. Okay, our final tough transition. Foot comes onto the ground. Left tricep comes onto that knee. Hands come down, Ekapada Bakasana. See. Upward facing. Nice. Exhale, downward facing dog. I know you got one last jump through in you. Literally, I'm not lying. The very last one. Hands to the ground. Big toes touch. Heels high. Bend your knees. Hop. Ooh, that's the best I can do. Ooh. Once you get those legs forward in front of you, bend into them. Let's work into a twist. Both knees over to your left. Nice. Right hand comes over to your left knee. Left hand plants behind you. You can turn this into Ardha Padmasana, so outer edge of the foot can come into the hip crease. Again, hand on knee. Left arm wraps around, and you grab for the big toe. Yeah, and if you're heading out early, I think I see some people. I love you. It's all good. I know it's a long practice. After this, it's back bends and then knees. Good, let's release this twist and do the same thing on the other side. Knees through center and over to your right. Left hand comes onto your right knee. If you work the half lotus, outer edge of right foot comes to hip crease, and you can wrap and bind. Good, let's unwind this twist. Uncrossing your legs. Recross them, come all the way up to standing onto your knees. We're gonna start our final back bend, starting with camel pose Ustrasana. So some people like to tuck their toes, some like to untuck. I like to start with a tucked toe. And I also like to create a lot of padding for my knees here. Hands come to support your low back. Press your hips forward. You can stay looking forward if you feel really dizzy or a little bit out of it, or take your gaze up to the sky. If you're feeling good, you can reach back for your heels, but I do want you to push the hips forward. Head can fall backwards. Little shallow breaths. Good, to make your way back up, support your low back. Ugh. Bring yourself all the way up. Sit onto your heels for a moment, catching your breath, stabilizing a bit. And then we're gonna come all the way down to laying on our back. Yes. So good, everyone. Okay. Let's lay down on our backs. The sweet rewards for all the efforts. All we got is bridge, wheel, and then done. Feet are gonna press into the ground. We're gonna start with our bridge. Lift your hips up, pushing into the backs of your triceps. If you want, chest expansion is here. Interlacing the fingers behind you, back of the head, long neck. Now we're gonna do 3 rounds of these back bends, okay? Starting with our bridge here, and then 2 wheels, or you can do bridge the whole time. Nice, try to soften for just a moment. So I'm just sitting on my wrists, and yes, you can do this. This is very beneficial for your wrists, especially if they're angry. If you're ready to go into another round of bridge and into wheel, let's lift our hips back up. Hands come up above your shoulders, facing the shoulders. Press into the hands and lift. Now take your time here. I like to rock in my wheel, so I kind of go like forwards and backwards. I like to come up onto my big toe ball mounds, then work on settling the heels. Maybe I need to walk my hands out a little bit wider. There's so many ways to refine your wheel. Last 5. And we'll start to bring it down on 1. Little reset before our second round. Okay, let's start with our bridge. So feet onto the ground. Press into the feet, lift up your hips. Again, I like to start with my bridge. Hands to the ground. Push up into your second round of wheel. Last 5. And let's take it all the way down. Now Nice. Without creating a round spine, take your knees towards your chest. And we'll lengthen it up to the sky. Good. To counter, shoulder stand. Let's pike our hips up. Supporting the back. This is a fantastic place to be. You can also work into your plow pose, halasana, or your death man. So the knees bend and come around the head. So many ways to do. All right, let's support our spine. Bring yourself all the way back down. And our last shape before Shavasana will be our fish. So I'm gonna walk myself all the way out long legs, arms by side, forearms press into the ground, push into the forearms, lift up your heart, and come onto the crown of your head. Push up and back. Good. Stick with that fish. Nice. Last 3. Last 2. And 1. Release out of your fish. Let the arms, the limbs, everything kind of spread out around you. And we'll settle in to our final pose, Shavasana. I want you to notice if you have any residual tension in your body here. Try to take that tension out of your jaw. Out of your eyes. Natural rhythm of breath. Now I invite you to take a big breath in here and a big breath out. Good. And really slowly start to create some wiggles and movement in your body. Maybe it's just the small joints, maybe it's the big joints, maybe you take a full body stretch. Arms above the head, legs long. And then you can curl up into a fetal position off to one side of your mat. Nice, and from that fetal position, push into whatever hand's on top And bring yourself all the way up to your seat. Sit up nice and tall and unapologetic after that incredible and physical practice. Yeah, you did all of that. Take your hands to heart center. Have a moment of gratitude for yourself. Whether you did every bit of this class, half of it, 25% of it, that is a huge reason to celebrate. Every day that we move is a reason to celebrate our lives. Bring your thumbs to third eye center and bow forward to seal in your practice this morning. Namaste. Nice work, everyone that's left. I know I had some people that had to leave early for work, but thanks to everyone that stayed. My goodness gracious. And everyone that's coming in and taking this one posthumously. Post, you know what I mean. After death. So on theme. So on Friday, essentially Kamar is going to be doing this in the morning. So if you want to join and get wild again by the guidance of the glorious Kamar Adeniji Adele, then I'll see you then. We'll be wearing costumes. FYI. Good, Steph. Oh, wasn't it so good? I just skipped to that Florence and Machine song for Shavasana so that I could cry inside. Yeah, and if you're into some deja vu, Friday. Trying to think of what I want to teach on Wednesday. I have no idea. I'll let y'all know. Or if you have requests, let me know. Oh, Stephanie, I miss you. Yeah, this is a serious little practice. Rocket will get you strong. It's a style that was taught for Kamar's Black Lives Matter training, and I would jump in on the practice and die every time. Be like, oh, you're so welcome, Steph. Have a beautiful day. Everyone else have a gorgeous day. I'm going to sign off, and I hope I get to see you at some other point this week. Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard or Friday at 9:30 a.m. with Kamar leading the full class. And then it'll be Halloween. All right, everyone. I love you. I'll see you next time. Bye.